Welcome to the SI Academy. So today we'll starting about the control and coordinations, and subtopic is name is what? The human brain. It is a reflex action. It is a reflex action, the only function of the spinal cord. Okay. Next question arises here. The spinal cord is doing only the reflex action. So other than that, they are doing the function means. So that we have to study here. Obviously not, since we know that we are thinking beings. Okay. Not only the spinal cord doing the function of reflex action. Other than they doing the several things. Okay. We are knowing that we are a thinking beings, we are a thinking animals. Spinal cord is made up of nerves which supply information to think about. What is the another function of spinal cord means? It will supplies the information to think and act. What is the another function of spinal cord means? It is made up of what? It is made up of nerves which supply the information to think about. Thinking involves some more complex mechanism and neural connection. Okay, so again this thinking is very complicated, so it is not easy as we are talking about, but it is very complicated organized manner. These are concentrated in the brain. Okay, these are concentrated in a brain. These are the spinal cord that thinking they are all located in what? In our brain, which is the main coordinating center of the body. Okay, remember that, which is the main coordinating system of the body means brain is the main coordinating system of the body. Which is the main coordinating center of the body means you can say that brain is the main coordinating center of the body. The brain and the spinal cord constitute the central nervous system. Again an important question. What are the constituent of central peripheral nervous system means we can say that brain and spinal cord. Remember that. What are the constituent of central peripheral nervous system means central nervous system means brain and spinal cord are the constituent of brain and spinal cord are the constituent of central nervous system. This is the one more question, remember that. They receive information from all parts of the body and integrated it. Okay, what will they do? Central nervous system, so they will collect the information from all parts of the body and they will integrate means they will analyze and give the appropriate information, and that at last action will be taken by the brain. So the brain and spinal cord constitute what? Central nervous system. This collects the information from all part of the body and integrate it. Remember that this is the function of what? Central nervous system. We also think about our actions. Writing, talking, moving a chair, clapping at the end of a program are examples of voluntary actions. Okay, what is a voluntary action means the actions are done by thinking. Remember that the actions are done by thinking are called as what? Voluntary actions. What is voluntary actions? The actions are done by thinking is called as what? Voluntary actions. Examples we can say that talking, we can say that here talking, moving a chair, clapping at the end of the program are examples of voluntary actions. Okay, while the class is going on, you and your friends are talking with each other, that is also voluntary actions. Walking on the street, writing a notes, these are all kind of activities we are doing day to day life, that all are considered under voluntary actions. What is the definitions of voluntary action means? The actions are done by thinking is called as voluntary actions. Next, which are based on deciding what to do next. Okay, these are actions are we are deciding and what we have to do, so that is called as thinking. So the brain also has to send a message to muscles. After that the brain has to send the what? Message to the muscles to do the activity. So at the last the brain is thinking, the thinking part of the body, but at the last who is doing the work means the muscles are doing the work. The information is ordered by the brain, the information is transferred by the brain, and finally the work is done by the muscles only. Remember that. This is the second way in which the nervous system communicates with the muscles. Okay, this is the second way in which the brain and the muscles will communicate with each other. The communication between the central nervous system and the other parts of the body is facilitated by the peripheral nervous system. Okay, remember that. Another part is what? The connection between, or we are saying that there is a communication between muscle cells and nervous system, means that is a connection given by the which tissue, means that central nervous system is connected with what? Peripheral nervous system, that will collect the information. So remember that central nervous system and the other parts of the body is facilitated by the peripheral nervous system. Okay, peripheral nervous system will gives the, or is the intermediate between what? Central nervous system and other parts of the body. See, is the peripheral nervous system is the intermediate between other different parts of the body and central nervous system. Again, important question comes here. What are the constituent of peripheral nervous system? Means we can write here, peripheral nervous system consisting of cranial nerves arising from the brain and spinal nerves arising from the spinal cord. Remember that. What are the constituent of peripheral nervous system? Means we can write cranial nerves arising from the brain and spinal nerves arising from the spinal cord. Again, one mark important questions here, very important. Remember that. So what are the constituents of a peripheral nervous system? Means we can write cranial nerves arising from the brain and spinal nerves arising from the spinal cord. This much you have to write. The peripheral nervous system consisting of cranial nerves arising from the brain and spinal nerves arising from the spinal cord. The brain thus allows us to think and take action based on that thinking. Our brain is what? Allowing or giving permission to us to think, and according to the thinking we are doing the activity. As you will accept this accomplished through a complex design with the different parts of the brain responsible for. Okay, these are, we are saying that we are thinking, according to that we are doing the work, means it is very complicated design. Okay, the brain have several kinds of, or 100 billions of cells of neuron cells is there, so it is very complicated. Again, this thinking means it is more complicated with again different parts of the brains are involving in thinking of the brain. Okay, this is very complicated. As we are saying that it is a simple the brain will think and doing the activity, means it is not easy. We are saying it is very complicated, with the different parts of the brain responsible for integrating different inputs and outputs. What we are giving the outputs and the brain will take it and they will analyze and you will give to the output. It is very complicated manner. So it will take a first input, means whatever the informations given by the body parts, and it will analyze it by the brain, and after that it will pass us through and it will give the output. The brain has three such major parts. Okay, another important question comes here. So what are the three major parts of the brain? They will ask, means you can write the brain has three major parts, such as namely forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Okay, these are three very important parts of the brain. Okay, first is what? Forebrain. First one is what? Forebrain. First forebrain, next midbrain and hindbrain. First forebrain, second one the midbrain, third one the hindbrain. Okay, these are the major parts of the brain. What are the major parts of the brain? Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. These are the three major parts of the brain. Okay, again this is 1 marks important question in your exam, definitely it will come. So okay, write the parts of the brain, means you can write forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. These are the 3 points. The forebrain is the main thinking part of the brain. Again important. The forebrain is the thinking part of the brain. Again important questions. Which is the thinking part of the brain means we can say that forebrain is the thinking part of the brain. Which is the thinking part of the brain? Forebrain is the thinking part of the brain. It has regions which receive sensory impulse from various receptor. Okay, these forebrain receiving the different information from the receptors. You already know that the receptors. So that will collect the information. Collect the information according to the changes in the environment are called as the receptors. Separate areas of the forebrain are specialized for hearing, smell, sight, and so on. Again, what are the other main other functions of the forebrain means it is what the forebrain is also specialized for what? Hearing, smell, and sight. Sight means seeing. So these are the functions of forebrain. They can also helping what? Hearing, smell, and sight. There are separate areas of association with these sensory information is interpreted by putting together with the information from other receptors. Okay, so there are several kinds of receptor present in our body, so they all give the information to the brain, and the brain will take the all the information and they will put and they will analyze, and at the finally it will give the result to the muscles, and the muscles is ultimately do the function. Ultimately the muscles will do the function here. So there are separate areas of the association where the sensory information is interpreted by putting together which information from other receptors as well as with the information already stored in the brain. Okay, brain how will it works means the brain is connected to the different types of receptor, and the receptors will gives there are several kinds of receptor, and these receptor will giving the information to the what brain. Okay, these are giving to the information to the brain, and brain will put these information in one place, and the brain will analyze this information with already stored in the brain information, and after this to analyzing it and finally it will give the some appropriate information. What is exactly here means this also one type of receptor, this also one type of receptor, this also one type of receptor. Here brain is there. Brain first it will collect the information from this one and this and this. So these not only three, there are several kinds of receptor is there. All the information is collected by the brain and they will put in one place. These information are put in one place, and these informations already had by the brain, so again it will analyze with these information, and first the brain will analyze these information from the receptor given and already stored the information from the brain. They will again cross check, after that it will finally do the job. So the brain will makes the extra checking whether it is correct or not. First we will take the information from the receptor, after that the information is again analyzed with already stored in the brain. That information is checked with one another, and ultimately the output is given by the brain. So this much of thinking is happening in the brain within a fraction of seconds. So this is why we are saying that very complicated manner. So based on all the decisions made about how to respond, and the information is passed to the motor areas which control the momentum of voluntary muscles, for example our leg muscles. So however a certain sensations are distinct from the seeing or a hearing. Okay, so these are all after the information is collected by the brain and analyzed and giving, and after that the information is given to the muscle. Ultimately the muscle is doing the final job. For an example of voluntary actions, however some certain examples is there that is different from voluntary actions. However some certain sensations are distinct from seeing or hearing. For examples, how do we know that we have eaten enough? Okay, these are what voluntary actions. So some action is there we cannot see or cannot hear also. So for example, how we are knowing that we are eating enough food, or how we are knowing that when we are having a hungry. So that all kind of examples are how these are working, or which type of actions are called. The sensation of feeling full is because of a center associated with the hunger. Okay, how we are knowing about we are eating enough means that associated with what? Center associated with the hunger, which is a separate part of the forebrain. Again, this is also part of the forebrain. So when we have to eat, when you have to stop, how much you have to eat, there's all you have to done by the what? Forebrain. Okay, this is again important diagram for your annual exam. So this is called as the forebrain. This is called as the forebrain. And next, this is called as the midbrain. And this is called as the what? Forebrain. And this is called as the hindbrain. So what are the here? This is the cerebrum. This is the outer layer that is called the carnium. We can also call it as the skull. This is the midbrain, and this is the in this front face is called as the what? Forebrain. And this is called a hypothalamus and pituitary gland. And in the hindbrain, pons, medulla, and cerebellum. These are the parts are made to the what? Hindbrain. Okay, these are the parts of the brain. And this is called as the spinal cord. Okay, very important parts how to remember. In an exam they will ask draw the diagram of human brain and the label the parts. Okay, this is how to remember this, the all the parts very important here: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. And in that hindbrain, these are three parts: spinal cord, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. These are very important. Carnium and cerebrum. These are very important parts you have to remember. Definitely in your exam they will ask. Study the label diagram of the human brain, and we have seen that the different parts have specialized functions. Can you find out the functions of the each part? Okay, this brain having a different parts of the brain, so that having each parts having what? A specific function. So we will study one by one. Okay, what is the function of medulla, forebrain, hindbrain? We will study in detail. Okay, next sections. So let us look at the other use of word reflex that we have talked about in the introduction. Okay, on our mouth waters when we see food we like without our meaning to. Okay, when we see our favorite food, our mother will making some favorite food in a festival time or a normal time means our mouth will waters. Otherwise when we are going to the what mall, some we are seeing the pizza means that time also our mouth get waters without thinking. So how this happening? So we are does not thinking, or we are not doing intentionally to do that, so but it is automatically happening. So how it is happening? So that we have to question here. Okay, our heartbeat without thinking about it. Okay, our heartbeat is continuously beating. The heart is does not taking our permission to when you have to beat and when you have to stop. Okay, so they are continuously beating without thinking it. In fact, we cannot control these actions easily by thinking. These actions are we are not controlling by the thinking. So these actions are called as what? Involuntary actions. So another first one is what? Voluntary actions. Another one comes what? Involuntary actions. What is involuntary actions? The actions are done without thinking is called as what? Involuntary actions. What is involuntary actions? The actions are done without thinking is called as voluntary actions, sorry, involuntary actions. And what is voluntary actions? The actions are done with thinking is called as what? Voluntary actions. Sometime in your exam they will ask write the difference between voluntary actions and involuntary actions. So sometimes they will ask write the difference between voluntary actions and involuntary action means we can easily write how means first they will write the definitions of voluntary. What is the definition? These actions are done by thinking. Simple is called as voluntary actions. Involuntary, these actions are done without thinking is called as what? Involuntary actions. Next, give the one example. This is a function examples of voluntary: clapping after the program and writing, walking. These are the examples. And involuntary actions: heartbeat, again breathing rate, and purification of blood. These are all what? Functions of involuntary action. These are not asking to you when we have to do the functions like respiration, breathing, circulation of the blood. These are what? Involuntary actions. This will write means you will get 2 marks. Okay, write the difference between voluntary and involuntary action means you can write. So do you have to think about or remember to breathe or digest food? So we are remembering that when you have to breathe or when you have to circulate the blood and when you have to purify the blood, we are making the timetable like that. Today we have to do the breathing and tomorrow we have to purify the blood, like we are not doing that. Okay, so it is automatically continuously it is doing in our body, so it is not ordered by any muscles, or if the muscles will not given the timetable like we are giving timetable, so there is no like that. So in between simple reflex actions like change in the size of the pupil and the throughout actions such as moving a chair, there is another set of muscles movements where which we do not have any thinking control. Okay, the size of the pupil we are not controlling it, and some actions are controlling and some actions are not controlling. So some we are already know that some actions are like what? Moving the chairs, clapping, writing, walking, these are and running. These are the examples of what? Voluntary actions. Another type of actions fields comes, that is called as the involuntary actions. Another actions will comes here, and many of these involuntary actions are controlled by the midbrain and hindbrain. Again an important point comes here. Involuntary actions are controlled by which parts of the brain means we can write midbrain and hindbrain. Which part of the brains control the involuntary action means you can write midbrain and hindbrain. Remember that. All these involuntary actions, including blood pressures, salivation, and vomiting, are controlled by the medulla in the hindbrain. Okay, what? Which parts of the brain controls the involuntary action means you can write midbrain and hindbrain. And next question comes here: what is the functions of medulla in the hindbrain means you can write so blood pressure, salivation, and vomiting are controlled by the medulla in the hindbrain. This is the answer for that question. What is that question? What is the function of medulla means you can write blood pressure, salivation, and vomiting are controlled by the medulla in the hindbrain. This much you have to write. Very important. 2-3 questions comes here in this paragraph. Okay, think about activities like walking in a straight line, riding a bicycle, picking up a pencil. These are possible due to the part of a hindbrain. What? Hindbrain called as the what? Cerebellum. Okay, so picking up the pencil and riding, walking in a straight line, these are controlled by the what? Hindbrain of a cerebellum. So these are controlled by cerebellum. It is responsible for precision of voluntary actions and maintaining posture of the balance of the body. Okay, another very important point. What is the function of cerebellum? So what is the function of cerebellum? Means it is the responsible for the precision of voluntary actions. What is the cerebellum? It is the precision means accuracy, accurate, correct. It is the responsible for precision of voluntary actions and maintaining their posture and balance of the body. This much you have to write. Very important question. They asked in several times in your exam. What is the function of cerebellum means it is the responsible for precision of voluntary actions and maintaining the posture and balance of the body. Imagine what would happen if these events fail to take place if you are not thinking about. Okay, these involuntary actions are controlled by thinking means sometimes we are sleeping, so you are forgotten to breathing or forgotten to purify the blood. So suppose these are involuntary actions are voluntary action means, so you forgotten means definitely will die because these are very responsible activities of a life process, so they will not performing means definitely all the organisms will be dead. Okay, these organisms will definitely dead. Okay, the value interactions and invalid interactions are very important. They will ask for 2 marks. Write the difference between value interactions and invalid interactions. Okay, next topic that next topic we will continue in the next class. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe and share to with your friends, and please subscribe my channel, and also see my continuous videos on this chapter, and also we having some videos in our playlist, and see that videos. Thank you.